Yo, my name's Juan Gonzales, just another gym guy. And I just put together my, I guess you could call it winter arc, mesocycle. Figured I would go over it with you guys as I plan on filming the different workouts. Just instructional videos, really. First off, I want to say I ain't certified in a goddamn thing. I just figured I would share what I'm going to be doing because I'm also experimenting on myself by using the peptide MOTS-C for like the next 5 or 6 weeks. So I built out a 5 to 6 week mesocycle. Built it out for 6, but the last one's a deload, and we'll see how I feel when we get there. Now, just a note on a mesocycle. What's a mesocycle? If you don't know, it's basically your workout routine for a set number of weeks. For the initiated, you would know that you repeat these, you change out, you swap out workouts. Usually you have a certain goal you're going with, a certain diet that you're attuning to it. I'm currently in a negative 500 deficit, so you would think that I shouldn't be gaining, but I also did have quite a hiatus, so I'm figuring I'll have a recomp. That's when you're losing fat and gaining some muscle back. Don't expect to get swole, but expect some muscle gain, which will play games in itself with the scale. Because, yeah, you might be losing fat, but you're gaining muscle. Muscle weighs more than fat, so the scale kind of becomes irrelevant once you enter a recomp. It's hard to judge. You're going to have to use the mirror. As for this mesocycle, I know a lot of the rules or science for building a meso, but there's also something you got to take into account, which is your own consciousness, your own what you like and what you don't, and what you know about yourself. So normally, if you want to emphasize something, you want to throw that up front on your mesocycle. So if you're emphasizing chest on chest day or whatever you want to call it, you're going to do your chest movements first when you're fresh, get the most out of it. And same thing goes if you're looking at it from a week's point of view, you want to do your heavier lifts earlier in the week. So if you're hitting chest on Monday and then chest on Thursday, you want to hit heavy chest on Monday and then, regular chest or whatever on Thursday. I'm doing it a bit different because what I realized with my last mesocycle was if there's a workout that I hate or that I just don't like, but I want to get it in because I want to be the responsible adult, well then, I need to just put that shit up front. Like, be damned science. I'm not going to do it unless it's the first thing I'm doing. So, like, I hate doing hack squats. I'm going to throw that one up front. And then the carrot on the stick is going to be the workout that I like. So it's like hack squats, all my ab stuff, and then my chest stuff. Because I know that even if I'm already at the point where I'm like, oh, I'm kind of tired. I did get some shit in today. I could just put this off or do a double day tomorrow, which almost never works out. If I have something that the carrot on the stick, like the chest workout, then I'm just going to power and go through it. And I'm going to be, since every week I'm doing the exact same workouts and I'm progressively overloading, meaning I'm adding sets, reps, or weight every week, I'm going to get attuned to it. And the actual results are all based off of the same amount of fatigue, if that makes sense. Like if you're thinking in scientific terms and this is an experiment, I'm doing the same thing every week in the same order. So even though I'm not coming in fresh on chest, because that's coming after hack squats and abs, I'm not coming in fresh on chest any of the weeks for, let's say, that Monday. So therefore, that's a variable that's sticking to the same amount. And I'm going to progressively overload on it. It's kind of like you also got to make sure you're lifting the same way every week. You can't go in there throwing them around one week, then going slow one week, then going doing a stretch another week. I mean, you can do that, but there goes your data out the window. You can't really compare those 3 weeks together. You were doing the workout totally different. I want to be able to compare the weeks together and do a progressive overload and see where I end up at the end of this. Sorry for the long disclaimer. I hope that some of this knowledge was useful. Let's go right in and look at what I planned. The wackiness. Like, I'm not saying this is like the perfect, your trainer would make this. This is going based off of what I want and my own like psycho-ness of I'd rather get the hard shit done first, even if it's not the best benefit. A lot of those scientific lifting facts just affect you to a small degree as it is. It's not like game changer. So, let's do this. Without further ado, let's talk Monday. This should be a pretty quick video, actually. So on Monday, as I alluded to when I was giving my example, I did the Monday. Monday, I'm starting out with hack squat. Starting out with it because I fucking hate hack squat. And I've noticed that if I'm going to not do something at the end of the day, like at the end of a workout routine, it's probably going to be the hack squat. And my quads don't like me for it. So I'm going to be hitting hack squat for the quads. Then I'm going to jump right into abs because I'm still trying to really rebuild my abs. This isn't just like a maintain on abs. It is a add weight, progressive overload, treat it like every other muscle. I'll be doing slant board sit-ups, so that's decline sit-ups, weighted. Starting out with the 45s because I've been doing it progressive over my last few mesos, and that's where I'm at is with the 45s or a 45-pound dumbbell on my chest. I'll be doing wipers. That's when your legs are going like this, except I'll be doing it on the decline, like laying backwards, how you would normally lay on the decline. I find that really blows up my whole lower abage, and I'm surprised that I can't do as many as I would think I'd be able to do. Then decline heel touches. The way I do these is I sit on the slant board or I sit on the decline and I kind of activate my abs a bit. So I'm not just laying flat and reaching for my heels. I'm activating my abs and reaching for my heels. So it becomes like an endurance test, but I'm also feeling it hit, I believe, my obliques. So I really enjoy that one. It's worked in the past. The real, I feel like, muscle gainer here is the slant board sit up. And then the other two, when you combine it, will really burn the shit out of your abs. And then, of course, finally, the carrot on the stick, chest. The last meso, and probably before that, I was doing dumbbells because I feel like dumbbells help me keep a more, I don't know, symmetrical look. They look symmetrical right now, but like when I'm looking in the mirror, I'm like, one of my breasts is bigger than the other. Um, and when I do bench, like with the bar or with the Smith machine, I think I tend to favor my right side more, and that's why like my right side grows more. So I try not to have it in everything. I'm doing a return to it because, sorry, I put the wrong weight in there. It should be 235. I'm doing a return to it because I did have a goal of raising my overall bench this year. Well, the year's over, and I did raise my overall. When I last did bench, I peaked out at 275, 8 reps, 3 sets. So that's like where my peak was at before I ended up switching mesocycles. I'm going to jump back in at 235. So if we're doing 5 to 6 weeks, I'll probably end up at like 265, which is cool because I'll probably, depending how it goes, I'll just throw it into the next one and I'll keep progressively overloading until I hit a plateau and I really need, well, it would still be a progressive overload, but I'm going to keep adding weight every week. So I hit a breaking point and then I'll just add in reps and sets until the next meso. Dumbbell press flies. I kind of noticed that. So a dumbbell press fly, you do have your weight. You come back, you're not kind of like the fly is more this. The dumbbell press fly is more you're pressing at the end. So you're doing a fly towards the bottom, pressing towards the top. It lets you use heavier weight with it. I noticed that a lot of my form was leaning towards like a halfway point between these two, between flies and fly presses. So I'm just going to go to fly press this time and progressively overload on weight. I haven't done them in a while, so I'm starting lower with 40s. And to round out chest, deficit push-ups. I'm going to run these as a circuit. I'm going to run a lot of stuff as circuits. So that's going to be like 3 to 4 workouts that are back to back to back with 2-minute rest in between. And that's just because of the time constraints I have on life. You know, I got job, everything. So that's why I'm doing that. Now let's talk Tuesday. So Tuesday, I'm starting out with glutes. Do you see another weird thing I'm doing? I don't have a dedicated leg day. I'm going to touch a different part of the leg every day. I could tell you all kinds of cons for that. Really, the pros for me is just the whole mental game. Like, I just feel like I want to be able to accomplish all these movements. So I have to play towards my mental. And if I'm doing like one leg movement a day, I know I can knock that out. You're like, this is the one leg movement today. Get it done first. So, and I like Smith machine thrust. You know, that you don't have to convince me to do that one, but I'm just saying. So I'm going to start out with Smith machine thrust. Then I'm going to hit my back workouts. So I'll be doing pull downs because pull downs are my favorite on the planet. This time on Tuesday, I'll be doing underhand grip pull downs. I haven't done them for a while, so I threw them in the underhand version. Dumbbell rows. So on the incline, laying flat, just both arms at the same time. Really feeling it in my center of my back. I like to do those because you're using both arms. I always have a time constraint. This gets you through it. This gets you that back pump that you want. It pairs nicely with the pull downs. And then I'll be doing cable flexion rows. That's where you're on the ground. And you really want to stretch forward and then pull back. Kind of similar to the dumbbell rows, but the way that I do it and the way that I emphasize like pulling my lower back, I feel it in a different area and I like it. Biceps. So there's just, throwing in the accessories. You could say Monday's accessories were abs, even though those are an emphasis that, like for me, that I'm working on. Biceps, you see this one little mark that they have there. So if there's one mark, you're just maintaining. 2, you're growing. 3 is an emphasis. Biceps, I'm just maintaining. So I'm doing some laying curls. And I'm going to superset that with the skull crushers. And then I'm going to walk over to the hack squat and do calf raises. So those are my 3 accessories. I'm working them in because I want to maintain them. And that's pretty much all there is to it. You can't, it's hard to say you can't do anything with your own mesocycle, but like I wouldn't totally throw a muscle type out the window and not hit it a little bit. I mean, a lot of them you get ancillary, you get while you're doing some of the other main lifts, obviously, but biceps, triceps, calves, I like getting them in. So there you go. That's my Tuesday. Wednesday. Smith machine good mornings. I have never done this. I wanted to get in something different for hamstrings. So I'm starting extremely low weight just to learn the movement, which I suggest that's what most people do. You want to learn the movement correctly. and progress in weight. Because if you're doing it wrong, well, first off, there's a million reasons. If you're doing it wrong, you can get hurt when you're putting heavier weight on it. But if you're doing it wrong at a lighter weight, it's still going to feel rough. And you'll know when it clicks into place when you're doing it right, because it'll feel like you're lifting a lighter weight, if that makes sense, or at least for me. Then we got to hit abs again, because I'm doing that Monday, Wednesday, Friday. So this time we're not doing the decline straight up sit-ups with the weight on my chest. I'm doing twists, so that's where you're coming to the side and going down. Almost the same thing, but hitting different areas of the abs harder, so I'm doing lighter weight, but I'm still going to progressively overload on weight for that one. Then we're doing decline leg lifts, essentially, and then decline heel touches again for the obliques. Shoulders. I haven't done dumbbell pressing in like probably over 6 months, because we work our delts, which are our shoulders, with a lot of other movements. You don't really need a dedicated shoulder day, in my opinion. But since it's been a while, I figured out throwing the dumbbell press. I'm starting low with 65 so I can rebuild again. Probably top out at 80s, since that's the heaviest dumbbells that I have, and I know I can press 80s. But that'll be later in the mesocycle. Lateral raises, because you got to do lateral raises. So right here, let me tell you, I got something that's hitting my front delt, which are the presses. They hit your front delt. And then the lateral raises are going to hit my side delt the way that I'm doing them. Oh, wait, no, these are special lateral raises. These are actually going to hit, and I do have lateral raises. They're my third movement. But my second movement is one that I haven't really done too much of. I usually do face pulls for your rear delt. I'm going to be doing lateral raises. So I'm going to be laying on the bench, and it's almost like I would call it a reverse fly, really. So that's going to hit my back delts. And then dumbbell lateral raises, which will hit the side delt. So I'm hitting front, back, then side. Which brings us to Thursday. Thursday, return of the hack squat. I already told you why I put that bad boy up front. Dumbbell press. So see, now I'm going to be using the dumbbells and not the bar. And this time it's going to be incline. So I'm doing the dumbbell press fly, incline this time. And then push-ups, because I like to end it with that. It's a burn, like, in my mind, it makes sure that I'm hitting the shit I want to hit to the degree I want to hit it, because it's a push-up. Then biceps, just going to do incline curls, skull crushers, calves again. Friday, Smith machine thrusts again. Got to grow that booty. Then we're hitting abs. It's basically the same routine from earlier in the week. Then I'm hitting back. This time I'm going to do the normal grip, because I like doing different grips on the pull downs. The flexion rows and the dumbbell rows are the same. I'm keeping them the same. A lot of advice online, like smart advice, is if you're going to do the same workout, do it a bit different. So maybe go heavy earlier in the week, go for reps later in the week. But I'm just trying to keep it simple, man. So I'm doing the exact same shit. Like I said, I'm not trying to say this is the most optimal workout routine you could do. I'm just saying this is the one I'm going to do. If you want to follow along, or if you're just looking at the journey, I might as well explain why I picked the workouts, right? So then Saturday is just a mixed bag of things that I want to go back and re-hit, or that I didn't get enough volume on during the week. Volume, so you know, is usually considered the amount of sets and reps that you're hitting a muscle per the week. There's scientific studies on the amount of volume you should get to maintain, to grow, so on and so forth. So I'm going to be doing dumbbell stiff-legged deadlifts, which I hate. But I mean, those are not new to me, like the good mornings, but that's basically a hamstring movement, going super light with it because my form is not great, and I'll build on that. Shoulders, front raises this time for the front delt. So I'm not going to do presses twice in a week. Presses are more, you do presses because you want to feel like, whoa, whoa. But they're not the greatest for your joints or anything. And even then, don't put the seat straight up, have it lean back just a little bit. That'll help with the shoulders so you don't get shoulder pain. So just warming up correctly. And then lateral raises, because you got to do them. But these are the back ones that I'm doing for the first time to hit that back delt. Kind of emphasizing the front and the back delt, not really the side, because I get a lot of that anyways. Biceps. Hear a lot of people say hammer curls are pointless, but I feel like, well, I'm already getting basic curls in twice for the week with the lane and the incline curls. I wanted to throw hammer curls in. It's Saturday. I want an easier day. Let's be real. When we come to the end of the week, I'm thinking, how do I keep it easy or fun? Because I probably feel beat the shit up from the rest of the week, right? I'm not trying to really go super hard on anything major on Saturday, but I do want to get something in. So I'm going to be doing hammer curls. I'm going to be doing the dumbbell skull crushers. That works out because they're both 35 pounds. I'm supersetting them. I'm going to do some dumbbell pullovers or dumbbell pullover. So that's where you go like this and you pull over. It's supposed to work your lats. Depending how you're doing it, I feel it in upper chest and lats. I just like the movement, so I wanted to get it in. And then calves again, because Calves, calves, calves. The internet says calves. And mines have actually grown since I've been doing all this, so why not? But yeah, sorry I took my shirt off. I'm hot. Yeah, that's pretty much like I was doing cardio. I hope that there was some knowledge gained from this. If you didn't know about mesocycles, now you do. I have other videos on mesocycles, but I'm trying to get better at my videos as I go. Now you know the workouts that will pair with my winter arc and my pepside research on myself. I'll go more into these and throw them into a playlist. By more into these, I mean for the first week, I'll just film everything and I'll talk about the movements and I'll throw them together. And then I'll also probably talk about like what I'm eating during the days during the next 5 to 6 weeks. Stay tuned. Watch me. I don't know. Thanks, guys. It really does help when you comment or share. And let me know what you'd like to see. See ya.